Okay. Let's see. Welcome, I guess. I don't know. I'm new to this. I'm sorry. This is my fourth time, I think. Anyways, welcome. Um, I wanted to talk about doom scrolling because I went through a little thing with ChatGPT and it just taught me a lot. I already knew some of this stuff and I wanted to talk about my experience. Also, I'm open to hearing your experience as well. I'd love to hear what you guys think. How did it affect you, or how does it still affect you? If you're addicted, that's totally common and nothing to be ashamed of, because I feel like everyone has a little bit of addiction to something or other because life is hard. So, anyways, let me go back to the top. How did I get to this topic in the first place? What happened? I was. Oh, let me move this over here so it's easier for me to see. Switching things around. I was having a hard time yesterday. It was a really hard time. Usually I'm doing better in life. It's not so drastically tragic. But I was having a hard time yesterday. And then I wanted to doom scroll. I haven't actually doom scrolled in a long time, which is really it makes me really happy. Yes, I have YouTube and I do Reddit, but only if I'm specifically looking for a topic. On YouTube, same thing. I'm usually listening to like philosophy or mental health. But anyways, I haven't doom scrolled in forever. And when I do doom scroll, it's typically to shop. I'm usually shopping on ThreadUp, which is what I used to do. And then I know I've been sucked into most things like IG and Facebook when I was younger. I've never been on TikTok. I don't want to start a bad habit. Or I don't think it's necessarily bad either. You can get really good information. It could be a tool, but most of the times we get really addicted to these social media outlets. And anyways, I wanted to talk about doom scrolling. Why do people doom scroll? I mean, typically because we're a little sad, right? We're a little unhappy, angry, bored. Something is up with our life, and then we escape into doom scrolling. But doom scrolling could be a lot of things, or it doesn't have to be doom scrolling. Doom scrolling is technically the news. Anytime you're updating yourself on the news, that is a tough one. So I don't know if you guys notice this about yourselves. If you guys doom scroll on the news, I would say that, let's see what happens. If you're watching the news all the time and there are certain things you can't do anything about, like you cannot do most things about the world. Anyways, say you get news on everything. There is a lot of things going on in the world and you can't really affect it, but you feel like you keep reading the news because it makes you feel like you're in control. Like if you're prepared, then you will be safe, but that's not necessarily true. And what ends up happening, especially with the news, and that's why I've stopped reading about politics. I've stopped being awoke. There's nothing wrong with being educated and trying to be politically correct. I have a personal issue with social justice warriors. I mean, I'm on the left too, and I didn't mean for this to end up being political, but I just wanted to say social justice warriors are basically kind of like bullies. They just bully you into trying to be, it's a righteous bully, I feel. And then it's not productive. Like you're not helping these people on the right who are not sensitive to topics be more sensitive to topics. If anything, you're just making them more angry, and then they double down. I digress. I don't know why I said that. But anyways, it's hard to be reading the news or being politically involved all the time. I vote, but I don't think doom scrolling is hard. You become paranoid, you become cynical, you just get super negative, and it's tough. And yeah, anyways, I don't doom scroll with that. But there's other things you can do too that's kind of like doom scrolling, like like me with ThreadUp. I mean, it's a different kind of escape, right? It's like, I believe that if I buy this one thing, if I buy this one top or this one outfit, I will be it will make my life better, but it doesn't, right? It's not why my life has problems in the first place. It's not like the extra clothes or the extra whatever you buy is going to make your life better. Sometimes it does, but it's like a superficial better. Let's see. Let's see. What else did I want to talk about? I think I wanted to talk about IG and TikTok. I typically don't like IG because I think IG can be very perfectionistic, and also I can compare myself a lot, and I don't like. I want to be the type of person that is happy for other people when they're, especially people I know, but I'm not. I'm not happy for other people when they succeed, when they get a promotion, when they buy a house, when they have a baby. I mean, I am kind of, because obviously I don't want bad things to happen to my friends or people I know, but I also kind of don't. And it's not because I don't want them to. It's just because I want the same things, and sometimes in life I'm not getting that, you know. On a day-to-day basis, you don't get promoted, you don't have a baby, you don't buy a house, you know, like you don't look like it's just a day-to-day thing. And then when you doom scroll on IG, it's like a different kind of doom scrolling, like social doom scrolling. I just think it's creating this reality that isn't real, you know, like beautiful people all the time, and like always looking hot, or like they all have six packs, or like their house is always immaculate, or like they're all getting promoted, etc., etc. And then, I mean, I don't know if it's the same with TikTok. I know they're trying to be more joyous, like if you put out joyous pictures, I mean videos of you dancing and stuff, that sounds cute. But if you're not the one doing the dancing and you're just watching other people do dancing stuff, I feel like you're missing out still. So not necessarily about the creating part of TikTok, but the absorbing, the consuming part of TikTok can be negative. So I don't know. Doom scrolling can be tough, right? And then those are the three main ones, I believe. But anyways, they said that, or I was reading ChatGPT, and they said that the most people affected by doom scrolling are, let's see, parents, creators, burnt out folks, and deep feelers. That's funny because I feel like I'm all four of those things. And maybe that's why I don't go on and I doom scroll and I don't have social media, because I feel like, okay, here's it says. What's it say? For parents. So if you're watching lots of mommy blogs and stuff, a lot of them can be very picturesque. And if you feel like they always have a beautiful home or a beautiful whatever, you're not going to be, you're going to feel bad about your own life and your own kids. And like, your kids don't always look perfect. They kind of, you know, they're just little humans and they're not going to be perfect, or your life doesn't look perfect. And sometimes you wonder how they can make it work. But that's a lie. We're selling ourselves on a lie. Their house can't possibly always be perfect, or their kids can't always have clean clothes on, or they can't possibly only eat healthy food, or maybe they don't watch TV. I know I was watching Seth Meyer on I think it was Dad Man Walking. I don't know if it was called that exactly, but it was about him and parenthood. And I could tell, I don't know if this is true either, but he was talking about how his kids don't watch a lot of TV, and how he made a joke about how his kids will be better than your kids. But I think that joke says a lot. I think that joke says that he's judging other parents for their kids, and he thinks this thing that's super painful for him, this screen time thing that he's like not giving them screen time, is going to help them in the long run. And I just think it's kind of funny. Because I've done that before. You know, everyone does that where they're trying something really hard and then they have to judge other people to justify the pain they're in, to deprive themselves, basically. Yes. Anyways, parents, I don't know why I went on that tangent, but parents have a hard time. I think, and then the comparison game is really tough too. Like if you see a parent seeming like they're very patient all the time and you feel bad because you can't always be that patient, or you feel like this mommy blog is super successful and then you're like, how can they parent and do that at the same time? It's hard to be a parent online, that's for sure. And I'm a creator, so also that could be rough on me too. I'm trying not to care anymore. I don't think it matters that much anymore. I think I'm going to do me, and I enjoy doing this. I think it's very impactful to talk about doomscrolling, talking about social media and the impacts it has on our psyche, talking about body dysmorphia, because you think everyone has a six-pack, or like also you think you're fat, or maybe that's just me. Like I think I'm fat, even though I'm very thin. It's really hard to you're seeing yourself in a distorted, not only your life in a distorted way because you think everyone else's life is so beautiful and perfect and but that's not true. Everyone has mess in their life. It's just not what you see. And if you keep consuming things where you think everyone can have a perfect life, it's not realistic, but also you put this standard on yourselves when you can just enjoy your messy life. I guess that's what I'm saying. Anyways, so content creating, I don't think I care that much anymore. I haven't actually watched a lot of content similar to what I do anyways, because I don't know if there's a lot of people doing what I'm doing. But I think it's all helpful anyways. I think we're all trying our best, and I don't have that as much anymore. But it's good to know that creators can be very sensitive. I think I could still be very sensitive. I'm human. Burnt out folks, why does it hit hard? It hits hard for burnt out folks because everything's already very heavy. Your joy is even your joy. And then it says that you don't have the energy to create or play or be inspired. So you scroll because it's like a substitute for living. But then when you watch other people live instead of you living, it makes you feel like you're just watching on the outside and you're like watching through a window of a partier. I don't know, of a party that's going on without you. And that's sad, you know? I hear that though. I am a burnt out folk. And I think sometimes I'll have date night. Everyone always says, you know, I'm tired as a parent. Just have a date night with your significant other. Have fun. Okay. You make time to have fun. You make time. You allocate it. You get a babysitter. You know, you make sure your kids are done. You know, you feed them, whatever. You make sure they're happy and taken care of. And you go out and you're tired. Even though you planned time to have fun, you're still too burnt out to actually have fun. It's the irony and the complexity of becoming a parent, I feel. Because even when you try to rest, you can be very restless. You have a lot of cortisol from the stress of parenting. And then even when you make time to rest, does not come as easily. So, and then you're also so used to working that when you rest, you go through some kind of existential crisis. Like that happens to me quite often, where I'm not doing something and it freaking bothers me. I don't know if you guys feel like that. It's really sad. Deep feelers. I'm a very sensitive person. I am, like, I can't listen to the news. It makes me so sad. I can't do anything. I feel so powerless when I listen to the news. I love good news, but there's too many sad things too in the world. So I'm all about cultivating my own garden. I'm going to protect my mental health. I try my best because I think it's very important to do so. If I could do something about the world's sadness, I would, but there's something very humbling about knowing that you're not in control of other people and their pain. You're only in control of your own pain and your own peace. Today, I was driving my kid to school, and this guy just stops in the middle of the road to talk to someone, and it's freaking bothering me. And anyways, I move aside from him, but I'm hella pissed about it. And then I was thinking, I'm not gonna let this guy take my peace. Only I can decide if he's taking my peace. I let him take it. And I get road ragey, right? So then I was like, okay, just let it go. Or I'm trying to. You don't always have to be perfect at it. You don't always have to let it go either. I'm just saying, but you are in control of your peace, You're the only one in control of your happiness. And it's the only thing you can really control, your life. So I guess I'm trying to say it doesn't make sense to always watch the news. You can try your best to survive and work and raise your kids and be a good person in the community you have, but you can't do anything about most of the news unless you want to give, sometimes there's like a crisis, like a hurricane or something, and I'll give money to, I don't know, Red Cross or something like that. One of those nonprofit things that can help. But other than that, I can't do much. And I always get news from somebody. Someone's going to tell me the news, so I don't need to read about it. If it's really important, someone will always tell me about it. I try to tell them not to, but it just comes out. So anyways, let's see, what else is there? Oh, I was going to talk about what you can do. And then instead of doom scrolling, what can I do? Let me read. ChatGPT was very helpful. I'm just going to be a ChatGPT sponsor right now and say, this is how I'm going to Twitch once in a while if no one's talking to me. Oh, hello. Thank you for following me. That's really nice. I don't know where how can you follow me? You're not viewing me. I see only 0 viewers. Love that. I appreciate it though. Thank you. Let's see. The brain is wired to treat, I mean, we all know why we're addicted. I don't know if we have to talk about why we get addicted to doom scrolling. I don't think it matters. Sometimes it doesn't matter to have so much information. Talking about doom scrolling and too much information. It doesn't matter why you're addicted. It just matters that you're addicted. And what can you do about it? That's what I think. And then I was the same way about my pregnancy. Like, I was going to read a bunch of books about pregnancy. And I was like, why? It doesn't matter. Some things matter, right? You need a plan for your pregnancy, the delivery, etc. But you don't need to know, why, how does your pregnancy work, the biology of it all. I decided to read more parenting books because that's more of something I'm going to do, I'm already pregnant. When I was pregnant, I was like, I don't need to read books about being pregnant. I don't need to know the ins and outs, the details of the biology. It's going to work itself out, right? So then anyways, it's the same with information. You could absorb a lot of information, but some of it is not useful to your life. So be careful about what you absorb or why you're absorbing it. It's it's not significant. Then don't care about it. Anyways, so what can you do instead? That's what I was going to do. What can I do instead? Oh, I see. So a big thing for me was when I do it. So when do you guys doom scroll? Are you doing it at work because you're unhappy at work? Do something about that, right? Or I do it because at the end of the night, I'm so spent from child rearing and I'm so spent, but I can't lay down. I have restless energy. It happens to a lot of parents. Their cortisol levels are up. Parenthood. Your cortisol levels are up, so you're restless. Your brain is wired, even though your body is exhausted. So instead of doom scrolling, even though I feel the urge to doom scroll, it would be a good time to do something else. There are some suggestions. I don't know if you guys would be down for all of these, but here are some things that you can do instead of doom scrolling. You can color. I don't know if you guys care about coloring. I mean, my kid is in a stage where she kind of colors, and we have one of those cardboard white and black rocket ships that we're coloring in. So I think I could color sometimes when I'm exhausted, but I can't lay down and rest. I'm gonna say AirPods are great. I don't listen to Audible because I feel like if I'm trying to absorb information, that's like something. It's energy. So I listen to The Office, my favorite episode of The Office, or I listen to music. Or I listen to The School of Life because I don't have to necessarily check into School of Life. I just listen to it on repeat. It's like a very philosophical therapy session kind of thing. And it's nice to just listen in, not necessarily have to absorb it and like be a student all the time. Oh, okay. So then this is like something I made up because ChatGPT was talking about it and I thought it was a great idea. So making a nighttime structure. So this is something I'm trying to do daily anyways. I know I'm tired at the end of the night. I know it happens every night. So why don't I just make a structure so that I give myself permission to rest. I give myself permission to not be a parent for a little bit. I give myself permission and validation for everything I've done that day. Let's see. So the first thing is naming the feeling that you currently have. I think I need to acknowledge first that I'm either bored or I'm sad or I'm angry, and what can I do about it? If I'm bored, obviously I can listen to AirPods. If I'm sad, I think I should journal and cry. If I'm angry, maybe I can do something to move it out of my body, like yoga or something like that. Anyways, and if I'm restless but tired, then I want to acknowledge it, but also realize I cannot just lay down. I know that I want to, but I'm still restless. I still have cortisol in my brain and I need to do something, or my body, and I need to do something other than lay down. Because when I'm laying down and I'm like stressed, it just does not make me feel any better. I think I start ruminating. You know, everyone starts ruminating when there's quiet and they feel uncomfortable. Anyways, so name the feeling, and then the next thing I would do, I think you could do this with your husband or your, spouse or whatever, especially another parent that does a lot too, unless they don't do a lot. I know there's a lot of parents that don't do a lot either, but good for you guys. Anyways, I'm hella jealous, but it's fine. Doesn't matter. I choose to work hard too, so it's my life, my choice. What did I do today? That's a good one. And I asked myself, what did I do today? Can I be grateful for what I did today? Can I be proud of how much I put into my life and my family? And then pride is such a hard thing for me because I have some like inferiority, superiority complex, but I still can't be proud of myself. Not always. And I think it's important to be proud, but not also think of it like you're better than other people. You're not better than anyone just because you are proud of what you've done today or you're proud of yourself. You just happen to be grateful for who you are or what you've done today. So anyways, I'm working on that and I'm trying to be proud, more proud. So I asked myself, what did I do today that I could be proud of? I asked myself, what magical thing I did today that I can be happy about. Magic is interesting. Like, I think I'm proud that I'm doing this today. My cat is really into the bird, you could tell. There's a bird flying and he's like obsessed right now. Let's see. Magic is sometimes not yelling at your kid when you want to. Magic is putting on earplugs or thinking of like creative solutions for your hard life. Magic could be anything. Anyways, that's another thing I'm going to do. And then what am I grateful for? What happened today? One thing that happened today that I'm grateful for, like there's so many things to be grateful for. And I feel like we don't think about it enough. I think it helps with our mental health to do so. So anyways, that's what I'm doing. And then I will do a low stimulating activity. So like I said, it would be like putting on my AirPods and sitting on the couch or laying down on the floor or playing with Play-Doh with my kid, or reading a book or, let's see. I don't know what else. Coloring. Anything that's low energy. And then yeah, that's it. And then I have a structure for my kid. So I've been thinking about my toddler and like cleaning. So like I know that it's important that my kid has some kind of responsibility. I'm very big on her having responsibilities. She's going to have to grow up into an adult, not a child. So I'm not here to pamper her and like spoil her. I'm here to fucking make her work. And not too hard. It's not like it's a child camp here. It's just like I just think she needs to learn to do the dishes. She needs to learn to put away her laundry in the hamper. She needs to learn to, I mean, I don't think she can do the dishes, but she can definitely put away her plate and, you know, things like that. So, I used to get her to put away her toys every night, but then she would bring them out again, you know, every day because, you know, you play with them. And then made me think it's kind of like people who are, what are they doing? They make their bed every day. It's like those people who make their bed every day and then they just have to put it like they get back in their bed again and it just gets messy again. And I don't understand why people do that. I think it's kind of, I mean, it's to each their own. Like if you enjoy doing it, you like seeing your bed made like that and it gives you like joy to see it like that, then yeah, go ham. I don't care. I'm just saying that it makes no difference to me in my life to see my bed made, and it makes no difference to me if my kid sees that or my kid's toys are everywhere. I don't care. Like if I step on it then, or my kid steps on it or my husband steps on it, I always say, well, it's my fault for not looking. I think that's what it should be because a part of me is always like fighting against my perfectionism and like I don't want to be so perfect all the time, you know, and I want to be able to have a mess and tolerate it. I want her to be able to have a mess and tolerate it. When she goes to college or has roommates, what is she going to do? Get mad because everyone else is messy? Like it happens a lot to kids who have parents who taught them to be super, super cleanly and organized. I just don't want to put that on her. I want to give her peace of mind. I don't want to give her one more thing to do. But that doesn't mean I should make her not do anything. You know, she needs to learn to clean. I can't be cleaning up for her forever for the rest of my life. I don't want to be that mom. So I thought, what's a useful thing to teach her? And I thought, okay, well, a useful thing to teach her is to put away her, what am I doing for her at the end of the night that she could do, basically. So then I'm trying to get her to make her own water bottle. At least, like, it's not hard to make your own water bottle. And then put it away beforehand. And then I'm getting her to put her dishes away. And if she has leftover food, I'm trying to get her to put it in the fridge. If she has trash, I'm trying to get her to throw away her own trash. If she has laundry, I'm trying to get her to put in the hamper. Those are like 5 things that are very important to everyday living. We all do it. So yes, anyways, that has been my thing. I think I am good. I can't believe it's been 30 minutes and I have no viewers. I'm surprised. Maybe it's the topic I am under. Maybe it's hard to find me if I'm not just chatting. I don't know. I guess I'll see next time. But if you are watching this later on, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope really do. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much. Peace out. Bye.